Yeah, I was out here at the last summit, and that was the first time I really got to share my journey to like a group of people who I didn't know that well. Obviously my family and my friends know my journey super well, but I think it was super powerful for me and a lot of the other people in the room just to understand that, like, just to let people know what you're going through. Like, football is such an alpha sport. Everyone's trying to be number one. Everyone thinks they're the best at this and that, and people don't realize how much adversity everybody really goes through and what people have been through. And even this weekend, I've known Blake Barnett since I was a sophomore, junior in high school, and Blake's been through about as much as anyone I know. And we haven't talked in a while, and I'm so excited to hear his journey and see what he's been through, because I know it'll give me something to take along the way too. So just really, like, when you're out here this weekend too, just like share your journeys with everyone else. You guys are super young. Everyone's going through different stuff. It's gonna help each other, man. You're gonna make great friends out here. But just to start off my journey, I grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. Played football my whole life. Started when I was 7. Got to high school. Was always good at quarterback. Was never that great. And then I grew into my body. I grew into the game. Really started to love it. Dived deep into it. And I started getting offers my sophomore year of high school. Got a bunch of offers. Got 20, 25 offers through my whole high school career. Ended up being the #1 recruited quarterback in the country. Thought that was awesome. It's like part of your journey, man. It's right here, right? You're starting here. It's just the peak right here, right? Just one of these peaks. And so after that, I decided to commit to Texas A&M. Everything in my journey has been going like this so far, right? All the way up. So I go to Texas A&M. I graduate high school early. I'm out there for spring ball. I'm out there for fall camp. I'm battling it out for the job. I really think I'm going to start as a true freshman at Texas A&M. Always wanted to play in the SEC. It was a dream of mine. And then training camp ends. The first game comes around, and I'm told I'm not the starter. They said, we're going to go with Kenny Hill. We think you're too young. We just don't think you're there enough yet. We think that he's been a more consistent player than you so far. We're going to start him. And that was really my first hit of adversity. And I think a lot of you in this room haven't had that much adversity through football, because I was at your age once and I hadn't had much until that point. And I remember going home from that thinking, damn, I've never been to 2 before. There's never been anybody better than me before. And for a little bit I was like, is it over? Like, what am I going to do now? Like, I thought this was me. Like, this was supposed to be me. And, I talked to my parents and I talked to some people that are close to me, and they really helped me through my journey, and I just kept pushing. So 8 games go by. He plays great. He's the guy that's playing after Johnny. Everyone thinks he's going to win the Heisman. All of a sudden, we start losing a couple games, and I go into my OC's office. We lost 3 games straight. We got blown out by Alabama and Ole Miss. And I go to my OC's office, and I tell him, like, hey, listen, like, I'm practicing hard. We're really struggling on offense. Like, I really think I give a chance to this team to win a lot of games for the rest of the year. Like, I really think this is my chance to shine, and I really think I can help you guys win a bunch of games. And so that's me coming into this little valley right here, right? And still pushing through and understanding and creating self-confidence, as Jordan said. You gotta create your self-confidence when you're in those ruts. And so we ended up opening back the competition. I ended up beating him out, starting the last 5 games of the year. I ended up beating the #3 team on the road, my second game that I ever started. Great, huge peak, right? Next year comes around, we recruit Kyler Murray to Texas A&M. So we battle it out all summer, all fall. I end up beating him out. Great, fantastic. That's what I thought I was going to do, right? First game rolls around. We're playing Arizona State. We're tied 10-10. They pull me out of the game. They say, hey, we're going to try Kyler for a little bit. We're going to see how he does. He plays for 2 quarters. Doesn't play well. Put me back in the game. Finish the game on a 21-point streak. We go through. We win the game, right? So I start the next 5, 6 games. I have a bad game against Alabama. I have a bad game against Ole Miss. They say, hey, we're going to try Kyler again. We're going to see what he can do. They start Kyler in the next 3 games. Plays well. Ends up playing bad in the 3rd game. They put me in the game. And so you see, like, all these bumps in your road, right, that are out of your control. You just got to keep pushing through them. And so I start the last 2 games of the year, and at the end of the year, I have a conversation with my parents. And me and my parents sit there and talk, and my parents really want me to leave Texas A&M. They say, we don't think this is the best fit for you. We don't think that you're going to succeed here. And I somewhat agreed with them. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be the dude that quit on the team and left somewhere else, but I agreed with him. I'm like, this is a business decision for me, and I feel like I want to leave too. And so I end up leaving Texas A&M, which is probably the only thing I do regret in my football career. It's a tough decision. I'm young, but you gotta stick with your decisions, right? And so I end up going to Houston, where I redshirt. From #1 recruit in the country to a redshirt in his junior year of college at a Power 6 school, or not a Power 5 school. And I'm sitting there that year, almost contemplating not playing football anymore. Saying, is it worth it, man? What am I doing with my life right now? Is this what I've come to? And I end up redshirting that whole year, refocusing, getting back into the swing of things in spring ball and training camp the next year, and competing for the job at Houston, 3 years straight, right? Freshman year competing for the job, sophomore year competing for the job, redshirt year, then my redshirt junior year competing for the job, right? You're never not going to be in competition. And I didn't find out that I was starting the first game until the day of the first game. They told me that morning that I was starting. We ended up going to Arizona, we beat them. We play Rice at home, we beat them. We play Texas Tech at home. We lose 24-21 against them, and they benched me for the rest of the year. I didn't start again the rest of the year. I probably played 3-4 plays the rest of the year. And so at the end of that year, I'm sitting down, I'm talking to people like Jordan, people that I know and I trust, and I'm sitting here and thinking, this kind of goes back to creating your own confidence. I'm sitting here thinking, I know I have the ability to play in the NFL. There's a lot of stuff that's gone on in my past that teams are going to say, why did this happen? We don't think that this should have happened. We're not going to draft you because NFL quarterbacks, this doesn't happen to them, right? But I didn't care, right? It was all about self-confidence. And so I decided to enter the NFL draft, knowing I probably wasn't going to be drafted, knowing I was going to have to scrap to make a team, and that's exactly what happened. I didn't get drafted. I trained with Sam and Josh. I watched them go #3 and #7 overall. Super stoked for them. First day goes by, second day goes by, third day goes by, my name doesn't get called. I ended up signing with the Carolina Panthers after the draft for a signing bonus of $3,000. Put it into terms, the first pick this year got $30 million in signing bonus. And so, coming from high school, peak, college, peaks and valleys, and entering the league, just a massive valley, right? But it's all about pushing through, self-confidence. And you're going to meet Kay tomorrow with Nigu, and that's why I wear this wristband, right? It's never ever give up. And so I just kept pushing through. I get to Carolina. We have practice in the spring. We probably have 13 practices, and I get 12 reps the whole spring, right? I was just there to be a camp arm. Oh, Cam, your arm's tired? Here, I'll go in and throw a couple reps, right? And the whole time I'm thinking, is this like what it's come to, man? I'm not even getting the time of day around these people, right? And your mind goes into those spaces, and then I just keep thinking, man, just keep pushing. One practice at a time, one foot in front of the other. Keep pushing. Something good's gonna happen. So I keep pushing. We have the preseason games. Go week 1, week 2, week 3, I don't play in a single preseason game. Week 4, they let me play in the second half of the preseason game. I throw for 300 yards, a couple touchdowns, and they end up signing me to the practice squad. Peak, right? I kept pushing through, a peak. Awesome, I was so stoked. Signed me to the practice squad, 5 days later they cut me, sent me home. They say, we don't need you anymore, we're gonna go with 2 quarterbacks, we wanna keep another lineman on the team. So I sat at home for 7 weeks, watching Sam play, watching Josh play, watching all my high school friends that are in the league play. And I just had to turn off the TV. Couldn't handle it. I wanted to play in the NFL so bad, and I knew I had the talent, but I just wasn't at that spot, right? I was in a valley, but it just kept pushing through. I had 5 different workouts. I was flying across the country working out for everyone, having great workouts. Yeah, we'll call you back, man. We'll see you. We might need you at the end of the year. You had a great workout. Finally, Carolina calls me back halfway through the season. Cam's shoulder's hurting, so they need another quarterback. They thought they were just going to sign me as a practice squad guy, whatever, we need another arm. And I just kept going. I kept balling out for the scout team. I kept paying attention to the meetings. I kept helping Cam prepare for the games, right? Like Jordan said, find a way to not get cut. Although I did find a way to get cut the first time. So I learned from it. But But you kept pushing and pushing, and finally I get an opportunity, right? Cam gets hurt. Week 16, they start the number 2. I get moved up to be the new number 2. Halfway through the first quarter, blows his arm out, his left arm. And so I jump in after dressing out for 20 minutes for the first game, and I'm already in my first NFL game, right? And what do I keep doing? Pushing my self-confidence, staying in the moment, just keep going, right? And I'm going 4 for 4, throwing for like 30, 40 yards, whatever. Took a drive all the way down, looked to the sideline. The dude's back ready, big brace on his arm, he comes in, great. Did what I had to do, right? Take advantage of your small opportunities. No matter how small or big they are, take advantage of your opportunities. He ends up next week having a torn tricep, doesn't play in the last game of the year. I play against the Saints and have a great game. Like Jordan said, I had a great game, honestly. Played well, stayed focused, and stayed confident over anything, right? The Saints were the number 1 team in the NFL at that time. At 13-2. And we hadn't won a game in 7 games. And so I tell all these parts of my journey is the lows and the highs, and I hope you guys feel the lows more than you feel the highs, because I learned so much more from the lows than I did from the highs. And I told this at the last summit. You learn so much more from your failures than you do from your successes, and it's not even close. So when you're in these ruts in your journey, and I know you guys are still young and you haven't been through many of them, but when you're in these ruts in your journey and you're in these times where you don't feel self-confident, you don't feel like you got it, you feel like other people around you are better, you just gotta keep going. Because I truly believe people like Jordan, people like me, people like Sam, people like Josh, we've made it. I'm not saying I've made it, but we've made it to the point we got at because we kept going. And the people that haven't are the people who just fell off and got tired of working hard and got tired of pushing through those hard times. You guys will see it. Your high school careers will not go the way you want them to. Almost all of you guys, it won't go the way you want it to. You just gotta keep pushing, man. If you're gonna take anything away from what I've talked about today, in my truly humble opinion, you just gotta keep going. And that's I truly believe that's where we're at today. I've kept pushing. I haven't let my failures keep me down, and I've really learned from them. And so I hope you guys got something out of that. I appreciate it. I always like sharing my story because I like hearing your guys' too. So appreciate it.